incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Early on the turn,
Who's the king of violence?
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Well, Mike, the Cubs just won that game 6-3 over the Cardinals at Wrigley. So Neris got the job done, and they doubled him up. They scored on a pickoff attempt at second. A guy threw the ball into center field, and the runner scored to add that last run for the Cubs.
They certainly do. The men did win that game. Barry hit a 2 at the end for the win. Now they're hanging by a thread, I guess you could say, Scotty, the men, because they're 2-4. They have one game left against the Netherlands on Saturday. If they win that, they would need a little help to get into the top 4. The top 4 go to the semis, and they'll play the 2 semis, of course, then gold medal game, bronze medal game. The women are in the top 4 now after their 2 wins today. Them getting to 3-3 has put them in a tie with Canada. They're ahead of them on whatever the tiebreaker is. They have one game left tomorrow against China, who is below them, 2-4 in the standings. So if the United States women, Van Lith and the crew, win tomorrow, I'd say they're going to make those medal rounds, Scotty, and have a chance, at least once again. And considering they started 0-3, that's pretty good. After everything that happened to them.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's
very
just
exciting. I've enjoyed it, the 3-on-3. I think it's been cool watching all these games inside that little arena. I do have some other NFL for you. Of course, the thing to do now is to not play any of your starters, especially your quarterbacks, in the preseason anymore. Aaron Rodgers is coming off a year where he only played 4 snaps for the Jets. So people were wondering, is he going to get any action? Robert Saleh has basically said he is not going to get any action. Is Aaron Rodgers happy with that, Scotty? He says, don't look at me. I didn't say anything.
Where do you stand on playing in the preseason?
Yeah, I mean, that's Robert's decision. I've never told him I don't want to play in the preseason. There's a lot of thoughts about whether there's any particular gain from it. We used to play all the time. It wasn't even a question. We played, 10 to 15 the first one, and quarter and a half in the second one, and the third quarter in the third one, and then sometimes, Tennessee would always play their guys sometimes through the third quarter. We would play, maybe a series or 2. Now nobody wants to play. They don't want to play their guys. It's different. To combat that, now we're doing all these practices with other teams. So we have 3 of those. I'm assuming those will be like our super heavy days, and then it'll be like the preseason for us. If he decides he wants me to play against the Giants, I'll strap it up and look forward to that.
Listen, to me, this is year 2, right, of nothing. Year 2 of nothing. So I repeat, he's done nothing except, I guess, have appearances on talk shows, travel all over the globe. What did he do? He did psychedelics. He did dark rooms. I can't keep track of this guy's, wacko stuff he does. And then but he never plays. So, and I don't want him to play in the preseason any more than anybody else does. So that's not my thing. My thing is 2 years of this nonsense and all these press conferences and media interviews and just constantly. It's amazing to me the attention that he gets, even though he never played. He hasn't played. So now they not only does he still get the attention, now they're saying he's going to go to the Super Bowl just because he's back from this Achilles. Does anyone really believe that? Like, do you really believe that the Jets are going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers at his age? And after we saw him drop like a bag of potatoes last year, I mean, he dropped back to pass and that was it. He went down in a heap and that was it. Now he's going to be better, stronger, faster. What is he, Steve Austin at 40? What is he, bionic? And then they give him all this attention like, well, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Why'd you go to Egypt? Blah, 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 blah. But the bottom line is I'm right. He never plays. He never plays.
Look, he's had more headlines off the field than snaps taken for the Jets in almost 2 years now.
My point exactly.
He's had more headlines for off the field stuff than actually playing. Hopefully for him that's going to change this year. So hopefully he makes it through 4 snaps. I mean, he missed all last year. I want to I want him to play because I want to see it all go down, Scotty. Because last year I feel like they got a pass. This mighty Jet team that everybody pumped up, they got a pass because Rodgers got hurt, and that's why the season failed. So I want to see it. I want to see what was going to happen last year happen this year.
Do they not always say around here? How many times have you heard, even on this network, the Jets are going to jet? How many times have you heard?
Jets will always jet, always, and it'll happen again this year. That's for sure. On the other side of the AFC East, we did the story yesterday about Gerard Mayo and his talk with Matthew Judon and how they're going to work things out. Here is Mayo talking about it, Scotty. If there's one thing I guess he did learn from Bill Belichick in all his years as not just a player but as a coach underneath him, it's how to deflect the media and not really give them anything that he wants to. Here's Gerard Mayo.
A lot of questions today will be about, Judon and things like that, but just so you guys know, my philosophy and our philosophy is to keep as much internal as possible. Had a great meeting with Judon, and we're all moving forward. I remember as a player, it's always a difficult time. Right, it's always a difficult time when you go through contract negotiations and things like that. And in saying that, for the rest of the team, like we're pushing forward. Fully expect Matthew to be out here today and participate in practice. But we're looking forward to getting better out here today. And honestly, we're a week away from playing football. First time head coach and first time in pads, I always remember what happened that day. And saying that, look, we had a conversation, have a great relationship with Matthew, have a great relationship with the players. But we're moving forward, and we're trying to work out. It was good. It was healthy. And I always encourage those guys to come in and speak with me or speak with Elliott, and that's what it is. And those things should happen inside of those walls.
Listen, first of all, it's so bizarre to see someone else other than Bill Belichick running the Patriots for me. It's just overwhelming. Second of all, this is a business. Every single guy on the team has a contract. Every single guy every year has the potential to hold in, hold out, have a extension problem, want a new deal, want more money, this, that. They play this phony game, these teams, with their players. You saw that phony-ass Shane dealing with Barkley. It was embarrassing. They pretend like they're all best friends and that's my boy. I can call him on the phone and have a conversation with him. You're just a wussy. No one's fooled by your white guy phone call to the brother. It was embarrassing. Here's the deal. Mayo knows he's got to get that guy paid because he's the best player on the effing team. Judon's the best player on the whole G-damn team, and you got to pay him. And then they play this game like, oh, well, these situations where we argued on the sideline, there's his representatives, our people, our front office, blah, blah, blah. It's all a business. Every single player makes millions, even the kicker. So everyone is going to get theirs one way or the other. This is not free football. This is not high school football. This is not NIL football. This is pro football. They get paychecks, big ones.
That's it. That is what it's all about. Everybody's got money to be made. That is for sure. Later on, I will try to squeeze in with you. I got Josh Allen for you. I want to get a different tone from Jim Harbaugh today. Of course, we've played a couple of Jim Harbaugh, looking at the sky, loving life, being in L.A., little different when your starting quarterback gets hurt at training camp. Suddenly, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for Jim out in Los Angeles. So, yes, so we will do all of that after you talk the game.
I'd rather have plantar fascia than the guy that burned his feet in the desert, the third-degree burns in Death Valley.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night it is looking to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, Carver High, the NFL skinny continues from camps. What is Josh Allen saying about his new rookie receiver from Florida State that we like?
Yeah, let's hear from Josh on Keon Coleman. I was just watching that. Another brawl for the Argentinian soccer team, Scotty.
What?
Look out. They got into it with France at the end of that match. As France did win, they're on their way to the semis, but Argentina and France scrapping out on the field. People running everywhere. What a scene. Probably the most exciting thing that happened all day in Paris, right? That and Hideki Matsuyama's double bogey on 18. Those were the two most exciting things that happened in Paris. Here is Josh Allen. Of course, we love Keon Coleman already on Coast to Coast. He is hilarious. And now Josh Allen has got to spend some time with Keon Coleman over the past couple of weeks. How does he feel about him?
he's just not normal. And I mean that in the best way. He does things his way, and he's always him. He's very authentic. You know, I had him over. I had a chef during the OTAs, and you know, she made fish, and he's like, "What the heck is this? I'm not eating this." And he didn't eat it, you know. But he does things his ways. He's super country, which I can relate to as well. So I love the guy. You know, he's making things personal, going out there and blocking hard and doing things the right way, and he's making plays in camp. And again, we're building that chemistry on the field right now, and I think that off the field we've got a very good thing going too, and just a lot of trust in those guys right now.
I am pulling for that kid, and that his career blossoms in Buffalo. I have no problem with that unless they're playing the Steelers. I really like Coleman, and I hate Florida State more than any team on earth in football. So I'm rooting for a kid that I would never root for because he's so funny and just so full of life and so hilarious. So I hope he does well with Allen and the Bills.
Did you see I know they put a lot of videos out about him, the Bills do. Did you see the one that floated around, I guess, at the start of camp where he's signing his rookie deal at the table and he's looking at the guy. He's like, well, I was supposed to sign my name here? And the guy's like, yeah, he's like, how should I sign it? And the guy from the Bills, I guess the guy that handles the contracts or whatever, he kind of looks at me and goes, what? And Coleman's like, you want me to sign it like I signed my autograph, or you want me to write my name out in full? Or what? The guy's like, write your name out in full. And he goes, right, Keon Coleman right on there on that contract. So he's hilarious, man. He's got a lot of fun. And now it needs to translate. We're having a lot of fun with him being part of the team, but now you got to catch tutties on Sundays. That's where we build a relationship a little bit more love for you once you start getting it done on the field. All right, here's Jim Harbaugh. I told you that he has, of course, had a real fun start to camp as well. We've played some clips of him it's like being born again, having a great time, the sun hitting you. I got an hour and a half out here with the team. Well, Justin Herbert, plantar fascia, going to be out for a few weeks, missed a lot of time at camp. Suddenly, Jim, not as chipper with the media.
The injury, did it happen on a specific play in yesterday's practice?
Not qualified to know when it happened. Was evaluated last night and diagnosed last night, and then now we're following the instructions of the doctors.
Was he dealing with any pain in the foot previously, like in the spring or in training camp?
Like I've told you before, I'm not qualified to diagnose, and I'm not qualified to know what's.
He's not going to answer the question.
Obviously.
Right?
But you said a couple days ago, you said that you do get updated from the medical staff about what's happening.
Yeah, you asked me how he was feeling. You asked me to jump in.
Did you get any update from the medical staff?
I'll just refer you back to the statement, and that's the best I can do. I thought it was really thorough.
How many times are you going to ask him? How many times? He wasn't answering the question. And
he won't. And it's such a great excuse. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't work in that department. I am not in charge of how people feel. But he gets updates on his players. Believe me, and he's just not giving them an answer. And I keep telling you that plantar fasciitis is a pain in the ass. It is. It's just never ending. Like, I see guys all the time, right, that I play basketball with that have it, and they're sitting there before the game. They're not putting on their shoes. They're rolling a ball under their foot just so they can put their shoe on and play. And I told you it gets better when you actually play. It's when you don't play that it seizes up on you. I mean, to the point of every step is agonizing. When I had double plantar fascia, I walked like I was $105. Literally, I mean, it was the worst. I mean, just if I had to get up to go to the bathroom sleeping, I'd just rather go to the bathroom in the bed. I'd rather just, do it right there instead of trying to walk on plantar fascia. That's how bad it hurts. Like, it'll make you cry. It'll make it. And remember, turf toe's just as bad. Jack Lambert, the meanest linebacker of all time in the history of the NFL, one of them, it brought him to his knees. He retired over a turf toe. You injure the toes, you injure the feet, the plantar fascia, bone spurs. I mean, if you can't walk, forget about running.
They claim he'll be back for the start of the regular season. If he's not, Raiders week 1 at home, at Carolina week 2, at Pittsburgh week 3. Probably won't bleed into that long, but they do go to the Steelers in week 3. We'll see. He should be back by then.
That sounds like a game I'm going to have to go to right there. Week 3 against the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh at the ketchup bottle, otherwise known as the place the Steelers play.
It will always be the place the Steelers play. That's for sure. Lots of injuries as well to catch you up on. DeAndre Hopkins, knee injury, 4 to 6 weeks. He won't be a part of anything for the Titans. I'll save Geno Smith just in case we have time later because I have McDonald with that. The Panthers are looking to add another quarterback. Andy Dalton suffers a quad injury as he'll be out.
Oh, God, that's weeks. Another one. The quad tear, quad pull.
That's
You're
another
done.
one with the
quad
tear. And
it's the
later
worst.
on, I want to bring this back up with you. Can you believe that judge overturned that Sunday ticket ruling and threw out? Not everybody's not getting those checks anymore that they thought they were getting from the
NFL never loses, even when they lose.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night it is going to be. Historic indeed for BKFC's 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of Angel.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our outlets, all of our streaming networks that we're in bed with, all of the TV stations that we air on, all of the radio stations, Sports Byline USA, their affiliates, SiriusXM Channel 159, Sports Rage weeknights at 10 with Gabe Morency. And luckily, we always have him for a double shot every day on C2C. Today, we're doing it in the final hour. I think it had to do with Kaplan going to Los Angeles on a flight to cover the NFL training camps out in the West Coast this weekend. So here's Morency, thank God. All right, tell me the story of the scene between Argentina and France that just broke out into hands flying and fisticuffs.
Well, first things first, our boy Kaplan going to cover the Chargers and Rams in L.A. I hope he's not expecting to get anything from Harbaugh. Because Harbaugh's the type of guy you want to commit a crime with. He's not snitching.
No.
All right. He knows he knows as much about the Herbert stuff as he did about Connor Stallions. And I'm a Michigan fan. I really wouldn't know anything about any of my assistants and what they do. I'm not qualified to answer that like that. I'm really not qualified to answer any questions about the Los Angeles Charger Football Club. All right. I'm just here. I really don't know anything about anything. He'd be a good politician. Yeah, I'd just say, I found out when you guys did. Like, that's the political, that's the one. I found out like you guys did. I'm as shocked as anybody. But as far as Argentina, I got caught up in this, Scott. Unbelievable match. The tension's incredibly high. It's not the World Cup. It's not the Euro Cup. But it's in France. It's still soccer. And France and Argentina and Spain are loaded, all right? They're not just some junior team here. They got a ton of pros, and their guys are on these teams. And for whatever reason, Scott, listen, France and Argentina played in the last World Cup. Argentina won in penalty kicks. There's, at the top of the food chain, there's a rivalry, all right? They're from different parts of the world. They're also very culturally different. And I don't understand why Argentina did this, but after Argentina won the Copa America, they got all wasted and started filming videos, and they sang a very derogatory song about France.
Right.
The whole thing is, Scott, France aren't in Latin America. They weren't in the Copa. You didn't even play them. Like, you didn't beat them. You didn't play them. They're in another tournament minding their own business in the Euro Cup. You troll them, and I'm not going to repeat, like, what the song was, but it was, very derogatory.
Racist. It was
racist, homophobe. Basically said, France, you guys aren't really even French. You sleep with men. Like, it was like this, like, mockery type, like, really over-the-top song. We should know. Messi was not there. Messi's clean cut. Messi's a big shot. He didn't party with the players after. He went on his own. So it was a bunch of drunk guys on the team. Well, lo and behold, where are the Olympics this year? In France. What happened, Scott, in the rugby sevens in the semifinal? Argentina had to play France. France, like, bludgeoned them. like pushed their face in the grass after, like, getting up. What? You want some? Dude, and same thing today. Like, the men Argentinian soccer team, they put a freaking target on every Argentinian's back. Scott, remember when the Olympics started? It feels like it's been a month. It's been great, but it was only a week ago you and I were talking about Argentina's first soccer game. What happened? The fans stormed the field and threw bottles and firecrackers at them.
It was crazy. Morocco.
So I hope you're happy. A bunch of drunk pros. Every Argentinian that's gone to the Olympics is getting booed, heckled. Their national anthem's getting booed. And you're lucky if you don't get, like, stuff thrown at you. Like, they're nicer to the woman gymnast a little bit and stuff. But it's hardcore. Like, they're the same thing. Like, they're booing Embiid, like, incessantly. Like, everywhere he goes. Bro, man, listen, man, I grew up in Quebec. My father was French. French people can complain and be pretty bitter. I know. So, like, when you get them fired up, Scott, and they don't like you, there's no turning back. So it was a great soccer match.
No turning back.
No, there's no turning back. So it was a great match today. And then right after the game, one of the dudes on France kind of stuck his nuts in the guy's face. Like, guy in Argentina was lying, and the guy in France sort of, like, did a wrestling pose in front of him. Like, you like this? You like that? And all hell broke loose. Argentina started a fight after, but France were going on. They cut away. They tumbled into the tunnel, and they were like, "Oh, we don't want to see this." And everyone's like, "This is exactly what we want to see. This is what we tuned in for."
It is. I mean, that is fantastic. When we come back, we'll see what kind of action Morency's got going in the Olympics the rest of Friday and what he's got lined up for the weekend. And we'll ask him what he thinks of that AFC East and all the talk of the Jets winning the division and Aaron Rodgers taking them to the Super Bowl.
Who, the Winnipeg Jets?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
So lots of track and field, and there's more swimming, and I've been watching BMX racing, which is relatively violent. I've seen some rowing. What are the sports that you're betting on Friday and into the weekend, Morency, in Paris?
Well, it's starting to get good now. You know what? Swimming's become so popular, and they get it, and I understand why. It's been awesome to watch. Normally, swimming is this week, Scott. They opened up with swimming. They'd never done this before. Like, they were giving out gold medals in swimming, and, like, they had, like, big-time races in the first Saturday last week after the opening ceremony. So the swimming is winding down this weekend. Just a quick bet for everybody. I've been talking a lot about her. Summer McIntosh, 17-year-old phenom. She's won 2 gold medals and a silver this week. She's got one more race left. And to put it, let me just quickly put in context. I know you want to get some football, but for swimming. So Leon Marchand, I know you've seen this guy, Scott. Unbelievable. He won again today, bro. He won 4 gold medals this week, this guy.
That's great.
Like Michael Phelps tweeted him and said, "You're the best male swimmer ever, bro. You're the best." Like point blank. No guy had ever won in the 200 backstroke and the 200 butterfly in their career. He did it in the same day, Scott. like he's so good. He's coming out and I like, oh, okay, you got another race? You got another race in 10 minutes? Okay, I'm good. Normally, they're like, I can't do 2. I got to pick one. Like, unbelievable. But to put in context, the 400-meter intermedley, he won by 6 seconds, okay? Summer McIntosh, the 17-year-old Canadian phenom, she won the 400 intermedley by nearly 6 seconds as well. He dominated the 200 intermedley today. There's no reason why Summer McIntosh won't. She's plus 162 right now, guys, which is just a great price. Kaylee McEwen, I watched the meet this morning out of Australia, had a little bit of a slow run. She's going to be in one of the outside lanes. American Alex Walsh. I'm learning a lot about swimming. Virginia Cavalier swimmer. Man, a lot of good NCAA swimmers, man. Alex Walsh had a great. She beat Summer McIntosh today in the heat, but Summer doesn't push it in the heat. She finished like 6th in one of them. Like, she doesn't care, right? Like, she knows, she knows when to turn it on. So you're getting Summer McIntosh at plus 162, guys. This race is tomorrow afternoon at noon Eastern time. She's going to win. She's like a future Katie Ledecky. She's going to take over the swimming world. She's only 17. I think she's going to win her 3rd gold medal tomorrow, and you're getting plus 162. Hop in on that and hit it. Hammer throw, Cameron Rogers. The women's 100 meters, Sha'Carri Richardson, who got eliminated in the last Olympic because she had marijuana in her system, God forbid.
Right.
She's back with a vengeance, Scott. She's running better than ever. She's going to smoke the field, but the price is a little high right now. And quickly, because this is going to be on Sunday morning, Keyshawn Thompson is going to win the men's 100 meters, all right? He's not a household name. He's never competed in an international competition before. That's amazing. His first international competition is going to be the Olympics, but he won the Jamaican trials. And anyone that knows, Jamaica, they're fast, okay? He ran a 9.77. It's the fastest time that any man or anyone in the world has run since 2022. He's 22 years old. I don't think he feels pressure, Scott. Noah Lyles is the second pick, the American, but I think Noah Lyles will win the 200-meter and not the 100-meter. So take the Jamaican kid to win at plus 125.
So the Jamaican, the 22-year-old's a Jamaican kid.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And Noah Lyles is the biggest threat to him, the American.
But
Noah Lyles
star.
His big strength, though, is more the 200 than the 100. He's super fast in the 100, but like Noah Lyles is like a lock. He's going to win the 200-meter gold medal. He could win the 100-meter, but I think the Jamaican kid will.
All right, so let's talk about the AFC East for a second. I sometimes revert back to it because of your and Carver High's fandom with the Bills. But the real story we were airing today was Aaron Rodgers talking about not playing in the preseason and just the amount of attention that this guy gets when he never, he literally doesn't play, doesn't do anything. He does, shows, interviews, he does press conferences, this, that. He's got more juice than Robert Saleh. People think they're going to the Super Bowl. People think they have the best defense in the league. Like, do you get caught up in any of their, I think, BS hype?
No, I really don't. And, one of the main reasons, there's a lot of reasons why, but Aaron Rodgers is kind of at the forefront of it. As you stated, can you imagine all the drama that this guy has caused with the New York Jets to play 4 snaps with them, Scott? Like, really?
No.
Like he's like, he controls the organization. He shows up when he wants. He dictates, you know what I mean? He can, they're owned by a pharmaceutical company. He rips, vaccines. Yet he works for Johnson & Johnson. So if you're really that, like, moral about it, Aaron, you probably wouldn't play for them. I'm just saying. But my deal, though, is, Scott, let me ask you right now, if you're the Green Bay Packers and they say, oh, listen, we can get Aaron Rodgers back and we'll throw Jordan Love under the bus, you'd laugh in their face. You go, no, we're more than happy with Jordan Love right now. I'm a Buffalo Bill fan. Thank God Jordan Love's not on the New York Jets with all that talent that they have. I'm glad they have Aaron Rodgers and that clown Nate Hackett calling plays. Robert Saleh should be a defensive coordinator. He's like, what is this guy proven as a head coach? Yes, they have talent. Every team has talent in the National Football League. It's a difficult division. So I'll just put it this way. I do not believe that Aaron Rodgers will stay healthy for the entirety of the season. Then you throw in just the drama, the unknown drama. What's he going to say along the way? You have an election coming up as well in November. So, there's going to be a sideshow coming up with him at some point. There is. And I think, some of his Jet teammates who kiss his ass originally are going to start to realize, you know what? It's kind of like a high-maintenance girlfriend we have here. She used to be famous, but in real life, she's not so hot anymore. I think that's what. No. Is that a good way of putting it, Scott? You know what I mean?
Do you think?
Hey, I'm going out with Carver.
Do you think that he's going to lead them to the East Division, or do you think it's the Bills or Dolphins?
I believe in the Bills and Dolphins more still. And the Jets do have talent, but I don't believe in their head coach. I don't believe in their offensive coordinator. Their quarterback is what, 40, going on 41 years old?
40.
Hasn't played football. Yeah, hasn't played football in 2 years. Wasn't great. You know what I mean? Like, when was the last time Aaron Rodgers won a big football game?
Once.
2012?
Once.
Yeah, 2012. It's a long time ago, Scott. It's 13 years ago they won a Super Bowl.
He gets treated like he's Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know. I remember when they played 2 years ago. Brady and Aaron Rodgers said the 2 greatest quarterbacks ever going head-to-head. Like, Joe Montana would like a word. The 2 greatest quarterbacks. What are you talking about? Guy's got as many Super Bowl rings as Mark Rippon does. Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer. I could go on. Like I said, for a guy's one, he throws a beautiful spiral, great ball. He's not mobile. He's got injury issues. He's 40 years old. He's a drama queen. And you're the New York Jets. Not with my money.
So you think that when it's all said and done, he'll only retire with the one ring?
Oh, yeah, he's not winning another Super Bowl. And for the record, for Jet fans, get ready for it. And same with look at the Chargers already, man, with Justin Herbert being hurt. You talked about it, man. That plantar fasciitis stuff can linger, bro. It's not good.
Joke.
No good, not good.
It never goes away.
And their backup is Easton Stick. You might as well have an Easton hockey stick, Scott, as a quarterback.
Which I used to play with. I love the Eastons. They're nice stick. Ben's nice. Get a nice high riser out of that.
Tyrod Taylor's the backup on the Jets. All right, Rodgers goes down. Taylor's okay, but are you winning the division or are you going to the playoffs?
Goes down.
Yeah. I'll say, you know what? I think the Jets will have their little moments, and then it'll just sort of implode. Rodgers will get hurt. Something will happen, and whatever. Like, bad things will happen. They're the Jets.
If they're so great, how'd they lose 10 games last year? Because he got injured, but they have this vaunted defense.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody else is so amazing. If everyone else is so amazing, Scott, exactly, wouldn't they be better?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I do think Hall can go over 1,000 yards rushing. I like him.
Wilson's a great receiver.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments. Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Left hand from Ron Paul. Right hand right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man? It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night it is proving to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Early on the turn. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Couple things I want to tell you about. One, get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android in the Play Store. You're going to love it. It's free. Follow your favorite hosts like Carver High. Get all the stories, scores, highlights, videos, you name it. In-game odds. How about this? You can watch the network on the app. Click watch, or you can click listen and listen to the radio side of all the programming on SportsGrid. The SportsGrid app, phenomenal. Programming note, Saturday night at 8 Eastern, Morency will be doing an Olympic-themed show from 8 to 10 Eastern tomorrow night, Saturday night. And third, I got to tell you about BetMGM's first bet, $1,500. It's the hottest thing going. Download the BetMGM app on iOS or Android or visit BetMGM.com. 2, sign up and deposit at least $10 into your new account. 3, place your first wager up to $1,500. back in bonus bets to you if the bet loses. You heard me. So you can place a bet for $1,500, and if you lose the bet, you're getting $1,500 back after the bet is settled. So 4, if the bet loses, your bets will be available once that wager is settled. You cannot top the BetMGM first bet $1,500 deal. It's everywhere and everybody's doing it. They just won't admit it.
They certainly are. Good way to get you kicked
All
off.
right, we got no
weekend,
Mike
too.
with Carver High, so I'll tell you, Geno Smith, they're having these tests on his hip and knees. I'm hearing nothing of consequence is bad with those images. They did MRIs or whatever. He's fine. He's just general, pain and soreness, but he's going to be okay, they're saying, right?
That's what they're saying so far with Geno Smith. That's a lot of injuries to have already, knees and hips. Here's Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald. We haven't seen him yet this training camp. It's his first year as a new NFL head coach. Well, looks like he's taken a page out of many others' playbooks. I'm not going to give you any information if you ask me. Here he is.
What can you tell us about your quarterback, Mike?
Yeah, he's just working through a couple things from the other day, but get some imaging tonight, and we'll see.
Expect him back tomorrow?
I don't know about tomorrow, but we'll see what comes out of when he goes and sees the doc.
Gino, imaging on what exactly?
I'll kind of keep that on the DL right now, and then we'll keep you guys updated.
Is the Geno stuff that happened in practice on Tuesday?
Yeah, I got banged up a little bit on Tuesday. That was, Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
So we know
I
it's
can
the
see
knee and the hip. We don't need his help.
That guy's gonna be as boring as the paint on the wall. I can see that already. That McDonald in Seattle. Don't expect anything good out of him this year. I could just see that coming. He's as dry as a board. That guy. I could just see.
And he learned from
He's
Harbaugh.
Very serious. We're gonna be serious here. All right. This is Seattle Seahawks football. We're gonna be very serious this season. All right. So just get ready for that. Those guys usually don't work out well. The guys who try to be the super serious first time they get a head coaching job.
I was around it.
Usually
I was around it. I saw it firsthand when I did it with the Thrashers. They're an expansion team. They had no talent, no speed, no depth, no goaltending, no anything. And meanwhile, they acted like they were 13-time Stanley Cup champs, the way they walked around, the way they practiced, the way they did their morning skate, the way they got to the bus, the plane. Everyone had a serious look on their face. No one ever laughed. It was all business, marching orders, same blazer, same color, same seat, same number. Oh, my God. It's like being in a Russian prison. I hated it. And I'm telling you, teams that are loose and that have fun and players that enjoy themselves, like this Jazz Chisholm, I'd rather have his attitude and his jacks into the seats, these home runs he's hitting, than some guy all serious about anything. Like, there's nothing worse than these serious coaches, GMs, owners. It's all business. Yeah, whatever.
I would mention to you before, the judge overturned that NFL Sunday ticket settlement. The jury had awarded $4.7 billion to, of course, go to the people. The NFL didn't like that. And as you always say, the NFL never loses. And this judge made sure, he said it was unfair. I forget what it was. The jury didn't get the proper, I forget, one of the guys on the stand, the judge shredded him, Scotty. So that allowed him to do this. Wow. And now there's going to be another appeal. It's going to go in courts. Here's what the bottom line is. You're not getting your money. Is what the bottom line is.
Yeah, so here's the deal. They win even when they lose. Remember,
correct.
They lost the concussion settlement, but they won because they only paid $750 million in damages. They won here, even though they lost. They lost the case. They were found guilty. They were fined $4.7 billion. 2 weeks later, it goes away, poof, like magic. They always find a way to win. They don't follow any rules. You could talk about antitrust. You could talk about police. They police themselves. They don't listen to local police departments about crimes involving their players. They have their own CIA, the NFL. They have their own police reports. They have their own police findings. They are like, I mean, they're the gulag. I mean, they are. They run everything. They get away with murder. They do whatever they want. I mean, and then how about this? They build stadiums, billion-dollar stadiums, and for the most part, let's just face facts. They force people to pay for it. They don't pay for it. They get us to pay for their stadiums. It's honestly, they have gotten away with murder for the last 50 years, the NFL. They are, honestly, if someone did a deep dive into how they run their finances and how they pay taxes, which they pay none of, you would find, I mean, crimes and misdemeanors. There'd be a movie it'd be a 7-part movie. It'd be like Costner's 3-part movie. You got to go 3 times to see the movie because it's so long. They get away with murder, that league. It's unbelievable. It really is.
They do.
How do you lose? One day it's $4.7 billion, the next it's nothing.
Amazing. It really is. We'll come back. Lots of leftovers, including, are you laying the 30 with the United States against Puerto Rico tomorrow in their final group stage game before we get to the knockout round? We'll find that out, too.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments. Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Left hand from Rockfall. Right hand right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man? It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. Utah won one tonight. It is looking to be historic indeed for BKFC's 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Robert, hi. There will be no leftovers at the Ferrall Palatial tonight as the busting out the Clement all beef dogs again on the grill. These are enormous hot dogs of all beef. Now, you're talking about Vienna beef caliber, Chicago style hot dogs that are just absolutely thick and fantastic. There will be no leftovers. They will be eating all of them. I bought 8 of them, and there are, I think, 5 people involved in this, and a couple of them are lightweights. I can tell you, I can dust off 2 of them loaded, clean, flush, no leftovers.
How about that? Getting involved when you finish up here. All right, here we go. Frank Gore will be inducted into the 49ers Hall of Fame week 1 against the Jets. Good for Frank. Cleveland proposes a $461 million funding plan to renovate Browns Stadium. So
the
there you
people
go.
to pay for it.
The people pay for it. The United States men's basketball team will finish up group play tomorrow, 11:15 a.m. against Puerto Rico. Hefty, this is up to 34 and a half.
Oh,
Kerr
God.
has allegedly told the team they are going to squash to get that number one overall seed in the knockout round.
I mean, this one literally could get ugly. It really could. I mean, this could be a 40-point win.
I do not disagree. I think it's going to be bad. I would lay it, honestly. Katie Ledecky sets the record for the most Olympic medals by a female. Andy Murray heads into retirement after the doubles loss at the Olympics. Sad to see Andy Murray go. The ACC media poll was put out. Florida State got the most votes. They are number one. If you could believe it, 2 people voted for Cal. 1 person voted for Boston College. I guess our boy Blue ended up getting a vote somehow. Mike Blewett. Georgia Tech got a vote for first place as well. The ACC, there's the U at number 3. People voted for them to win it too. 17 people voted for the U.
Yeah, 17 people picked the Canes to win the ACC, huh? And remember, I heard they were winning 10 games and making the playoff. I did a thing today on the show about earlier that you may have heard about Miami have their percentage chance to make the playoff and to win the national championship, neither of which will happen. Neither of those things will happen. So them getting 17 first-place votes in the ACC is laughable to me. And every year we hear that the U is back, and they never are. I mean, it's been 24 years of this. We've been hearing this, that they're back. Back for what? More losing.
I agree. More losing. Mel Tucker is suing Michigan State and many of their school leaders for the wrongful termination, according to him, last year up in East Lansing. That should be fun. Conor McGregor loses his license after dangerous driving. Why does he need to drive? The guy's got millions. Have somebody drive for you. The World Series of Poker has been sold by Caesars, but it will stay in Las Vegas. Part of the deal is they have to still have it at Caesars, Scotty, for 30 years, but they just don't own the World Series of Poker anymore. How about
Why would they get that stipulation? They don't own it, but they're going to have it there for 30 more years at Caesars. Like, what is that about? I'll tell you another thing. All it's really about is the guy that won, he won $10 million cash.
Correct.
So that's really all that matters, right? All right, Ferrall finished. I love this one. Disgraced former U.S. gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar is having quite the time in federal prison. He has been literally a target every day of his life in Fed, that they want to kill him. He's like looking over his shoulder 24/7, 365. Every day is his worst nightmare. He is a target. They want to kill him dead. He's never going to last. Mexican drug kingpin El Mayo, who co-founded the Sinaloa cartel, is in U.S. custody. Did you see who flipped him? El Chapo's son was the one that flipped him to the feds in El Paso. You can't make this stuff up. That's another Lifetime movie waiting to happen. El Chapo's son. I'm a big fan of El Chapo, especially when he escaped through the toilet. That was a strong effort, you have to admit. A decomposing body found in a shed after a dog drops a human head on a California sidewalk as mommy was walking her baby in a stroller. The dog walked up and plopped a human head down at her feet. That'll wake you up. A 75-year-old grandfather killed by a swarm of bees while working on his Texas ranch. What a horrific scene that had to be, watching the old guy get devoured by killer bees. A 30-year-old modern-day miracle man who woke up after a 244-day coma is struck and killed by a pickup truck. Evidently, he wasn't a miracle. GTD is next. Go to FerrallOnTheBench.com. Have a great weekend.